Strength is 96 and response is only from 2 students. Strange. Good morning, guys. Okay, I hope everyone have joined. So let's start with today's topic, that is management control, and second topic that we will discuss along with management control, that is project portfolio management. Fine. So this is the content that we will discuss. That we will firstly discuss management control, then project portfolio management. After that, we'll discuss why project portfolio management is important, and we'll discuss few steps for project portfolio management. So what is management control? So first of all, let us discuss that what is management. In general, can be as the process of setting objectives for a system and then monitoring the system to see what its true performance is according to the objectives that the management or manager provide to a team. So especially in case of large undertakings, there will be a lot going on about which management should be aware. So we will take an example that IT project that is to replace locally held paper-based records with a centrally organized database. Fine. So a management system is applied on this kind of problems or this kind of scenarios for the proper monitoring and to check the true performance of the system. So let's discuss the same concept with the help of a diagram. So in this we have different components like the real world data collection, data processing, making decisions and making plans, implementation, define objectives and modeling. So it will start from the real world. Fine. So first of all, as we know that the problems and the projects that a programmer develop are basically from the real world. So those are the problems of our real world. For example, if we take the example of COVID. Fine. So related to COVID, now we have a lot of applications, a lot of data, websites, and many other things. So the problem that we solve is basically from the real world. So firstly, we will collect the data, that is data collection. And it can be any kind of data, any kind of problem or data set or any other thing. So firstly, we have data collection, and here the data is passed to the unit that is data processing. Fine. After that, when we'll have the raw data and we'll process that data, we know that is converted into information. What is information? The processed data is called information. So this is the definition for information. So after that, now we know what we have, what we want to develop, what will be the outcome. So to achieve that kind of outcome or that kind of goal, to solve a particular problem, we want this and this kind of solution. So we will define our objectives. Fine. After that, we will define our objectives, and with the collection of both things, we will make some plans. to achieve the goal. Fine. So after plan, we will create some models, or we will choose a particular model to solve our problem efficiently according to our plan. After that, we will make some decisions, uh, uh, like which kind of methodology we will use, which kind of technique we will use, that kind of decisions we can say. So after decisions, we will implement our project. And after implementation, the project is again goes to the real world for the final checking, for the final installation, and for the real check of the software by the client. So till now, we will just discuss that what is management control and this diagram. If someone have any doubt till now, then please ask. Kindly acknowledge yes or no. We just discussed this diagram. If any confusion, any doubt, then ask. What we do in the modeling process, okay. Anyone else? Okay, Adarsh? Okay, student, in modeling process, as we have a number of models to implement our project, as you know, different kind of models, like waterfall model, spiral model, uh, agile model, we can say, uh, incremental model, fine. So at this stage, we model our project. We will create models and we will decide which model we will use. Or we can say this is the design process. Fine? Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So let's proceed. Next we have objectives. For project, objectives should to have a successful software project, the manager and the project team members be clearly defined. So objectives should be clearly defined in the very first stage. So there might be more than one set of users of the system, and there might be different groups of staff who are involved in its development. I think this point is clear that maybe there is only one person who is developing, or there can be a development team. So this authority is often held by a project steering committee, which has overall responsibility for setting, monitoring and modifying objectives. That is our management control authority, we can say. So next we have measures of effectiveness. So effective objectives are concrete and well defined. So vague aspirations such as to improve customer relations are unsatisfactory. So objectives should be such that it is obvious to all whether the project has been successful or not. So ideally, there should be measures of effectiveness which tell us how successful the project has been. So time to time, we'll measure the effectiveness of the project, whether the objectives that we have defined are achievable or not. For example, to reduce the customer complaints by 50% would be more satisfactory as an objective than to improve customer relations. We will work on our objectives and we will work on our techniques and methodologies and different techniques that we use. Next, we have sub-objectives and goals. So till now, we discussed what is management control or diagram related to that. After that, objectives. So now, after the measurement of objectives, now we have sub-objectives and goals. So in order to keep things manageable, objectives might need to be broken down into sub-objectives. So here we say that in order to achieve A, we must achieve B, C and D first. Meanwhile, if we have a big objective A, then we will divide this objective into small sub-objectives to complete the task easily. So firstly, we will complete these B, C and D. After that, we can say we have achieved our objective A. So these sub-objectives are also known as goals. Steps on the way to achieving an objective, just as goals scored in a football match, are steps towards the objective of winning match. So till now, if someone have any doubt, then you have 1 minute to ask. After that, we will start with the next topic, that is project portfolio management. Hurry up, students. Less than half of the class is attentive. Be attentive in the class, dear. So the next topic is project portfolio management. So let me know According to you, what is portfolio? Yes, what is portfolio? Hurry up, students. The question is that what is portfolio? Collection of documents, good. Blueprint, a combination of resources into a single entity, okay. Collection of projects, fine. Or we can say collection of records. So portfolio can be a simple Excel file or it can be a big database. Fine. So let's start with the topic that project portfolio management is the centralized management of an organization's project. So while these projects may or may not be related to one another, they are managed under one umbrella within one organization, a single organization called a portfolio. So in order to provide oversight and manage any competing resources, the portfolio management in project management also involved the intake process of projects. So this includes identifying potential projects, authorizing them, assigning project managers to them, and including them into the overall portfolio. So this is the project portfolio management. So the projects, those comes under project management, portfolio management. They can be related or they can be different projects, as we already discussed in this slide. So now we discuss that what is project portfolio management. Now, why project portfolio management is important? Why we need it? So according to the Project Management Institute, that our research has shown that portfolio management is a way to bridge the gap between the strategy and implementation. So in other words, it is a job of the portfolio manager to ensure the right projects are being done at the right time to maximize the company's investment. So this is particularly important in organization with a lot of internal projects. Ideas for project can come from anywhere at any time. It's common for a business to have a long list of potential projects to complete. So basically, as we have different kind of projects and different kind of ideas, and for to implement those kind of ideas, we uh, cre- uh, we design some strategy, we adopt some techniques, and in portfolio, basically, what strategy we are adapting to implement the project is checked time to time. Whether we are using a proper strategy according to the taste of the project or not, so that the completion of the project is efficient, in time, and valuable. according to the um, point of customer. So now we'll discuss some steps of project portfolio management. So we have 5 steps, and first step that we have is identifying the guiding objectives of business. So if we work for a grocery store, for example, is their goal to provide the freshest food, the largest selection, or the lowest price? So it depends on the objective of any project, that what we want. Whether we want to create a very good project and we're not bothering about the cost, we're not bothering about the time to take, what are the objectives? Fine. So if lowest price are the priority, then projects to promote cost savings are much more important than projects to improve the quality of food available. So it depends what are our objectives. So we should identify our objectives, what the need of the customer. Next step is, after identifying the objectives, that capture and research requires and ideas. So project ideas could come from anywhere at any time. So it's important to have formalized intake process in place of capturing these ideas so they can be tracked and evaluated. So this may be as simple as spreadsheet maintained by a portfolio manager, or it could be an online database where anyone in the company can enter ideas as they think of them. So this is also depend on the management. In next step, we select the best projects. So once idea is captured, portfolio managers must go through the standard process for evaluating and selecting the projects that will move forward. So this requires more than just ensuring they are aligned with the company objectives, such as how much will it cost, how long it will take, what is the return of the project, are the resources available, what are the risks associated with this project. So these points will keep in mind of the manager or portfolio manager while they select the best projects. Next step is validate portfolio feasibility and initiate projects. So under this, once the determination has been made on which projects to move forward, it's important to validate the portfolio as a whole. So this can include making sure the mix of projects chosen, it's not large, too risky, too expensive, or too interdependent. So there should be a mix of projects. The portfolio should be properly balanced and aligned with business goals. For example, if 3 of your projects are all forecast testing in January and you only have one test lab, this is an issue. So there should be a variety of projects. So at the end we have manage and monitor portfolio. So in this projects change and evolve over time and new ideas may be added to the list of potential projects. So this is why it's important to continually manage both the ongoing portfolio execution and intake process. So managing and monitoring the portfolio may include the following. So first we have working with project managers to monitor the performance of projects, identifying and resolving conflicts between projects, making changes to the portfolio as needed, including putting projects on hold, cancelling projects, and adding in new projects. So ensuring projects are still aligned with the business objectives. So if someone have any question or any doubt till now, and please ask. So now we'll discuss some questions related to our today's session. First question is, the possibility of reduction of risk through the construction of portfolio depends on the value of. Hurry up, students, answer the poll. And the right answer for this question is option 1, that is correlation coefficient. And next question is, investment is a risk-free investment when?